In previous class we discussed bilinear transformation method for IIR filter design. In this class we'll try to try to apply those methods to solve some numerical problems on IIR filter design. So first start with basically we have to derive the formula to calculate the order of the filter and the cutoff frequency, and we have to know what are the analog specifications of a digital filter. Means we have to know the frequency response of the filter, whether it is low pass or high pass, and we have to also know that what are the pass band gain, stop band gain, pass band frequency, stop band frequency. So these are certain things, the concept about certain things we have to make very clear. So in case of IIR filter design, here we basically directly map the frequency response into digital domain. Okay, so here we'll try to know that what are the cutoff frequencies, what is the cutoff frequency, what is the passband frequency, what is the exact stop band frequency, and we maintain those values in digital domain also. Okay, so this is a typical frequency response of a low pass filter. Now here two things. One is this is four parameters is given. One is pass band gain, which is basically delta p here. Stop band gain is delta s. Pass band frequency is delta p, omega p, and stop band frequency is omega s. Now this band is basically called pass band, and this band is basically called stop band. Now in between this band is basically called transition band. So we can see here like this. So this is basically a low pass filter frequency response, where it is pass band and then stop band. At the middle it is transition band. Now at the y-axis it is the gain of the filter, and at the x-axis it is the frequency of the filter. Okay, so this is the basic parameters that will be defined in analog domain. Okay, so if we want to design a digital filter, the designer have to know that what are the corresponding analog value, what is the pass band gain, what is the stop band gain, what is the pass band frequency, what is the stop band frequency. So if I ask you to design a digital filter, I have to provide you all these four parameters. Okay, depending on this four parameter, you will calculate order of the filter and you will calculate cutoff frequency. Now we will see how we will calculate the order of the filter and the cutoff frequency. Okay, now in our syllabus we have Butterworth filter. Butterworth is basically one kind of analog filters, and its corresponding transfer function is given by this formula. Okay, where this capital N is the order of the filter. So and omega c is basically called cutoff frequency. Now if I replace, as I said, that at pass band frequency at omega is equal to omega p, the gain reduced to delta p. The maximum gain is 1 and the del reduced to delta p. So at omega is equal to omega p, that means at pass band frequency, obviously that HA square is basically nothing but delta p square. Okay, so if I replace this omega by omega p, so if I do that, then doing some algebra, so this is the equation, that the omega p by omega c all to the power 2n is this. Okay, now similarly, if we put omega is equal to omega s, that is stop band frequency, at that situation, what is the stop band gain? This is delta s. So again we can calculate this. Now if we take out the ratio of these two, this ratio is nothing but this one. Okay, so obviously the omega c will cancel out. So omega s by omega p, that means stop band by pass band whole to the power 2n is this. From here, if we take log of both sides, so this is simple calculations. So from here we can calculate the n. N is what? Order of the filter. So order of the filter is basically given by this formula. This is very important. You have to remember this formula. So to calculate the order of filter, we need to know 4 parameters. One is delta S, delta P. Delta S is stop band gain, delta P is the stop band pass band gain, omega S is the stop band frequency, and omega P is the pass band frequency. These are all in analog domain. Okay. So if as a designer, if you know these values, then you can say the order of the filter. You can calculate the order of the filter. Okay. Now, so this is the typical what can I say, frequency response of a low pass filter. So now here we will define a very important term in case of filter is cutoff frequency. What is that frequency? That in cutoff frequency, the gain reduced to 0.707 of its maximum gain. So cutoff frequency is basically a particular frequency where the gain will be 1 by root 2 times of its maximum gain. 1 by root 2 means 0.707 times of its maximum gain. So this frequency is defined or designated as omega c, which c stands for cutoff. Okay. Now by applying this formula delta p, we can replace this omega by omega c. So again, by doing some algebra, we can calculate omega c in terms of passband frequency. Now why I am taking passband frequency? You can also express this omega c in terms of omega s also. Okay, but it depends on the designer. Okay, that which band, that which frequency is our priority, means more clearly, if I say that which frequency means passband frequencies are priority or stop band. Priority means the which frequency is sacred, means suppose if you want to design a digital filter, suppose I said that design a digital filter having the passband frequency of 2 kHz and stop band frequency is 6 kHz. It means that I want that filter will attenuate all the frequency above 2 kHz. That means it pass all the frequency below 2 kHz. Now if I want to restrict our design that this 2 kHz is important to me, means suppose this filter will be used in a system where the system cannot accept or will not accept any frequency more than 2 kHz, then we have to concentrate as a filter designer. We have to concentrate that we have to design the system like that it will not pass any frequency above 2 kHz. So we have to concentrate on that passband frequency. Now if anybody wants to concentrate on the stop band, means suppose as I said in this design, stop band is 6 kHz, means above 6 kHz it will stops all the frequency. In between this is a transition band. So if in any design, if its stop band is important to me, then we will design the cutoff frequency formula using stop band frequency. So it depends on the designer. Most of the cases the pass band is very important. So in maximum book you will find this formula of cutoff frequency using this pass band frequency. Okay, so these are two standards formula you have to remember. Now if we know these formulas, then depending on the order, that means if the order is even, then the analog transfer function is governed by this formula. Okay, where bk is nothing but this one. So you have to, again very unfortunate, but you have to remember all those formulas. Okay, so if n is odd, then this is the standard expression of a analog transfer function. So if we know this analog transfer function, then again by applying either impulse invariance technique or by bilinear transformation, you can design is digital transfer function. Now one more important thing, that maybe in some formula, some given problem, that at given parameters, that means passband gain and stop band gain can be given in dB format. So then nothing else we have to convert into linear domain. So this is the simple formula. So if the gain given in dB, you will use this formula to convert it. That's it, because we know that dB is 20 log of this. Okay, so just you have to apply this formula, and you can calculate the order of the filter. So as I said, that if we have an idea what is the order of the filter and what is the cutoff frequency of the filter, then we can write down its analog transfer function, this HA of, with the help of, if the order is even order, then this formula will give you your transfer function, and corresponding this BK you can calculate. And similarly, if n is odd, that means if order is odd, then you can write down this. Okay, so now what we will do, we will discuss a particular problem. Okay, let's yes, this one. Here the problem is given that design a IIR Butterworth filter having the following specification. What are those? So this is a typical low pass filter specification. That means this is the frequency response. This is the nothing but frequency response in between 1 to 0.8. So this is maximum gain, and this is called 0.8 is passband gain. In between this frequency range omega, so 0 to 0.2 pi. Okay, then at the stop band, the frequency response must be, means at stop band the gain must be less than equal to 0.2. So again this delta p is 0.8 passband gain, stop band gain, then passband frequency and stop band frequency. So all these four elements are given to you. Then you have to calculate the order. Okay, in some cases they can provide the linear value also. That means fp means in Hertz. Okay, so you just have to convert. So you have to know that sampling frequency in that case 8 kilohertz. It is given in our problem. It is given. If it is not given, then you have to assume some value of the sampling frequency, or if a sampling frequency is not given, then t is also given to you. I think in this problem t is okay. Maybe t will be given to you time. Okay, if t is given, then sampling frequency you can calculate. If sampling frequency you know, then t can be calculated. Okay, so by this formula you just calculate the analog values of this radian per second. So from Hertz to convert to radian per second, then you will apply, then put all the values in simple formula. Okay, and if we do that, that n is 2, it is coming. No, here it is very important, n greater than equal to. Yes, one thing I forgot to mention, that this n, the formula will be greater than equal to, because if something comes 1.71, then we will assume that as a 2. If some value is coming 3.89, we will assume as a 4. If something come 3.2, you always take the higher order values. Okay, so that is the case. That is why we took this greater than equal to. Now simple, here we use bilinear impulse invariance technique. So impulse invariance technique, we know the relation between that capital omega, that means analog frequency with the digital frequency. So obviously we can calculate from this. We know the value of t because t is given to us. So again both are same. Actually we did it twice, but it is not required. So here we can calculate n, here also we calculate n. Anything means depending on the value what is given to you, so you just calculate it. You please go through the details of this calculation. I am not going to discuss all this. This is simple calculations. Similarly, the cutoff frequency you can calculate it from, just put the values and the cutoff frequency is calculated here. So here the order is 2, so we'll write down this formula, that analog transfer function for n even, corresponding b1 value is can be calculated, so root 2. So just put the value k is equal to 1 to n by 2, n is here 2, so just one value k for k equal to 1. So this HA of s is given by this, clear? So this is your HA of s. Now we know the value of omega c, you can just put the value of omega c here, okay, put the value of omega c and you can calculate the final HA of s. Now this is not the all, here we have calculated HA of s only by doing some factorization. I just expressed this HA of s in some standard format. What is that? A divided by s plus a. This is a, we already discussed these things. A divided by s plus a whole square plus b square. Okay, so we express this HA of s in some standard value where a is this and b is this, such that we can write down the direct h of z. So this is also a typical issue, that you have to remember this formula, that if you know the analog transfer function and if you can express the analog transfer function in some standard value, then the corresponding h of z is this. I think we already discussed in some cases. Yeah, what are the cases? Please go back. Yes, this one. These are the standard value. Okay, if your analog transfer function is this in this format, the corresponding digital transfer function is this. In the first class we discussed this. Okay, I already discussed that. These are the some standard analog transfer function you have to remember. Okay, and its corresponding h of z you have to remember. So whenever we represented our h of s is in this format, we can directly write down this. And now we are putting the value of omega ct, and if we solve this, you can get this is the final design h of z. This is the final h of z. Okay, there is some confusion over this value. Okay, maybe the value is coming this. Please use your calculator to find out this value. Okay, and get back to me whether this is right or this is right. I think this one is right. So I wrote here. So please do the calculation by your own. Okay, so in this lecture I just show you how to calculate that IIR filter design using impulse invariance technique. In impulse invariance technique, how can I say that this is impulse invariance technique? By this formula, this one. This is an indicator that what is the relation we used from mapping the poles from analog to digital. Okay, so in case of bilinear transform, it will be different. Okay, in case of bilinear transformation, this relation will change. By this formula. That's it. That's the difference. And you have to also evaluate the pre-warping frequency. Okay, so we'll also see that how we can design a bilinear IR filter using bilinear transformation. So this is all about that impulse invariance technique. So the step-by-step process is, first you have to calculate the order and cutoff frequency. Then depending on the order, you have to calculate HA of s, that is analog transfer function. Then you have to express your analog transfer function into a standard format. Okay, so we know, we already discussed that 4 standard formats. There are 4 standard formats. So you have to represent your HA of s out of any 4. Okay, so you have to represent those in those standard format. Then you can write down h of z. If we opt for impulse invariance technique. Now I'll show you a design problem using bilinear transformation. Just wait. Okay, this one is a problem. Yes, this is bilinear transformation. Okay, so here the given problem is that this is the given problem. So this is passband gain, okay, and this is the stop band gain. Here it is represented by A1, A2. In this book, this is a scan copy of a book. So this is A1 is termed as the passband gain, A2 is a stop band gain, and corresponding omega is given. T is given 1 second. This. So either T will be given or your sampling frequency will be given to you. So in this problem, design a Butterworth filter, digital filter using bilinear transformation. The specification desired below. So upon now see. So when you know this is called pre-warping. This is called pre-warping. So by doing this, I am basically calculating omega 2 and omega 1. This omega 2 is nothing but it is called stop band. I think it is pass band. So this ratio is given to you. Now again applying this formula in our discussion that I said that delta P and delta S, which is equivalent to here A1 and A2. So N is calculated. So N is 3 here. Okay. Then omega C we calculate. In step 4 we calculate omega C. Then we determine what will be the transfer function H of S depending on the value of N. Then you have to just so depending on the value of N, you will just calculate this transfer function. Okay. So in this discussion there are lots of step jumps. Please do in your own step by step basis, that after calculating that order, we apply the formula that if N is even, N is odd, then this is the function and the corresponding BK value is this. Then finally, so this is your HA of S. This is your analog transfer function. Okay. Now since we are using bilinear transformation, I simply replace AS by this formula, by this value. Okay. So in bilinear transformation, the H of Z, we don't have to remember all the 4 standard H of S here. You just replace S by this 2 by T 1 minus Z inverse divided by 1 plus Z inverse. And if you solve this, then you will get this value. Okay. So this is not easy. You have to practice all these problems. Okay. So these are 2 examples. In the next class, we will solve more examples on IIR filter design using bilinear transformation and impulse invariance technique, both. Okay. So please practice all these things. If you have any doubts, you can always ask me. Okay. So this document is already shared with you, so please go through these documents very carefully and practice those filter design problems. This is very, very important topic, so take it seriously and do the practice. Thank you for the listening the class, and in the next class we will discuss further problems on IIR filter design.